Hello and welcome to Discovering Grays Lake, unveiling the stories and people that make our town so unique. I'm your host, David Wool, and I'm thrilled to bring you this new podcast that explores fascinating stories and experiences of local business owners and community leaders, right here where we call home. Grays Lake Rehabilitation Center is a community-based private practice physical therapy provider. Do you know they have 13 clinical providers with various levels of specialties, including orthopedics, sports, neurology, vestibular, geriatrics, pelvic floor, and aquatic? What? Did I just say they have a pool? Well, they do, and it's the largest indoor warm water pool in Lake County, featuring 2 underwater treadmills and swim currents. And recently added clinical treatment specialties, in layman's terms, shockwave. They have both radial and focus units that are the newest tool in regenerative medicine, available to everyone. They pride themselves on the most current and up-to-date specialized care to keep you moving. If you're looking for physical therapy, make sure to see our friends at Grays Lake Rehabilitation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of Discovering Grays Lake. I am recording here from Agora. Agora is on the corner of Atkinson and Washington Street. So if you're looking for a co-working place to get your business out of the home for a day, for a week, or even a lifetime place for your business, Agora is a great place to be. And Luke's just a super great dude. So come in and talk to him. Okay, now I'm going to screw up your last name. So I'm honored to be here today. We have another author on. Danny, how do you say your last name?
Bielawski.
Bielawski. See, I said it so good before I hit record, right? So I got to see a lot of your stuff that's out here because obviously I troll through the social media pages and everything. And your new book is all over all the Grays Lake Moms pages and everything like that. So I appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes. All right. Well, don't be too excited yet. So let's first of all talk about name of the book, and then we're going to do a little background of like how this came to life.
Okay, so the name of the book is Getting Ready for Santa.
All right, so Getting Ready for Santa. What age is this for? Is this for parents to read, for kids to read?
Yes, I would love it for parents to read to the kiddos, teachers as well, therapists as well. And then if they're at that age where they're reading on their own, this will be a very good confidence booster because there's simple words, repetitive words that they can get over. So I would like to call it like baby if the parent's reading, all the way up to 10 years old.
So this book, where does the idea of the book come from?
So my son, when he was 2, we were getting pressured that we need to go to therapy. He potentially might be speech delayed. And that just kind of panicked me. And I was like, okay. So we went in to check it out, and he didn't have the words that other kiddos did. So he was saying mama and dad at first, and then all of a sudden it just kind of stopped. And then they just diagnosed him with speech delay, and we had to go through so much therapy. And I didn't know what to do, and I just felt alone. I didn't know how to communicate it with him, so we created new dance moves for him. If you wanted applesauce, there was a dance move that we had for it. Cool. Just different ways for me to understand my son. And then as therapy continued, they kind of taught me more things to do. Pause more. Don't try to answer for him because he's trying, but he's not able to articulate it. So when I would read books with him, there was like this other connection that he was giving me with his eyes. He wanted to say something, but he looked trapped. So I was like, okay, there's something in him. How can I help him get it out? So I started reading, like asking him questions, yes or no questions. Not what color is this, but more, do you see this person? Do you see the dog? And he would shake his head, yes. Do you see this bird? Is the bird yellow? And he would say no. So it's like, oh, okay. So he's understanding yes or no to movements and then pointing wise. So I created my own book, and I was like, okay, what if this works? His eyes just lit up. He was answering me with no, with words then, because I held back more. I didn't rush my reading, and it was just like a cool like shift. Then I upgraded it to, what if I hide things around the house to know if you're understanding what I'm asking you to look for and to see what you are understanding. So I made it was a St. Patrick's Day book, and I made like gold coins, and I hid them around the house. And I said, can you go get the number 1 gold coin? He went around, he had like 3 and found 4, but he knew it wasn't the number 1. And I didn't know he knew that yet because he was so like in his little world. So he brought back the right coins. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's understanding what I'm saying. He just cannot tell me that.
We're taking a quick break just to say hello because everybody knows Nano, and Nano knows real estate. And actually, I believe that's the name of her Instagram page. So if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or know somebody in the market for a home, contact Nano from Baird & Warner. She's a Grays Lake girl helping out Grays Lake people.
So I created this book then for Christmas time because he loves Christmas stuff. Anything Christmas, he's like all about. He wants to watch The Grinch in June. I'm like, it's not Christmas yet. And to me, things get to be too soon. So I'm like, now I'm all about Christmas in June. So, so pretty much I created this to have the repetition that I had with him, like the oh no, opening your mouth more. Then I have flat books in here, flat pages that is a yes answer and a no answer. So the parents could be like, no or yes, just to kind of help the confidence of the reader to know that the people that are talking to you, you understand one another. Because I think as this process was, the most frustrating and hurtful part was me saying something to him and me not understanding if he's understanding me.
Right.
And that was very hurtful as a mom. Like, you just want to do everything and you didn't want there to be a barrier, but there was a big barrier.
Wow. And from as a parent, having a child like that, it's very frustrating because we want to help them, right?
Yes.
Especially when you're talking about like taking a step back and not explaining it to the kids or letting them learn. But what a cool way to understand a different kind of communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And that
It's
you
fun.
got to translate it with that. So that's where you made your own. Do you have a background in teaching or doing books or something that you were trying these things out?
I just have the background in communication. I did sports reporting. And then from there, I've always wanted to be a teacher, but then I've did more research into it. I don't think they get the love they deserve. So
Amen. We'll give the teachers right now, any teacher listening, you're getting the love from us.
Yes, for sure. So I just kind of backtracked with it, but I always had a love for it, and I always had something for kids. I worked at a before and after school program. My mom created that back in her hometown. And I've always had a love for kids. I worked with kids probably till I was in college. And then now I coach volleyball. So I'm always giving back to the youth. And this is just a different avenue for me to do so now that I learned about the need of like speech impaired kids.
Sure.
You know, the parents just feel so lonely, or they're like, oh, don't worry, it'll get better. But then some are too prideful to go to therapy. And the therapy taught me so much that I put in the book. It was like, if I didn't know this stuff, I would have still been, answering for him. Like, oh, you want this? You want this? Instead of letting him get that extra 2 seconds, 3 seconds for his brain to come to his mouth.
Wow. So those are things that you were helped learn from therapy.
Yes.
Wow. Since you've put this out, have you had other parents reach out to you or things that can really relate with what you're going through?
Yes. This lady, I don't even know her. She read the back of my cover, and she reached out to me and said thank you. She wants to buy 5 books because she felt like she has a kid who is speech impaired, but they speak Spanish. And I kept telling her, like, that was the thing that they told me, like, if you're a dual language, but try this book and see if you can get any more interest out. And she said after the first book, just the excitement of reading it was enough that she's like, okay, I just can't wait to get to the other parts of your book.
Interesting.
So that was really fun.
That's cool. So it is a communication from any kind of barrier in there, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, and as soon as I saw that you had it on there, I know right now during this recording, we're recording in like mid-November of 24 because obviously people listen to this way afterwards. So book is available to now, and how nice that it's right near Christmas time, right?
Yes. I got so lucky.
So people in Grays Lake that want to go shop, like this would be a great Christmas gift, or even to pick up before Christmas, right?
Yeah,
so that you can read.
Fit in a stocking.
Exactly. It's a big. Yes, you could. So, is there a place in Grays Lake they can get it right now?
Yeah. So right now, A Little Bit of Me found me. They believe in me, and she has it right now in her boutique. So you can go check it out up there if you would like it, and she has books there for purchase.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. And that's another person that I need to speak with, so hopefully you can make that connection for me.
I definitely will.
I think that's very cool. So is this going to eventually, is it going to be on Amazon, anything like that? Or are you?
I'm working on that. I'm hoping to be a vendor for Amazon. I can't do self-published through Amazon because they won't print my flaps. And the flaps is really part of my book. If I take that away, I take away my character of my book. So I have to right now I'm doing everything myself. And I'm creating a website too for it. But right now I have a Facebook page on it. And that's been super helpful. Anybody that has things, and I can reach so many more people. Right now I have 4 books in 4 different states. My goal is to get 1 book in every state.
Wow, that's awesome. So this book is, if they're looking for the Facebook page, where do they find it?
It's called Getting Ready for Santa.
Getting Ready for Santa.
Yes.
Okay, so I heard you say you have 4 different books. So
Yes.
you have published other books.
Oh, no, so 4 different books. Sorry, 4 books in different states.
4 books in different states.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry,
but I
was
am
like,
working on the other part.
Well, as soon as you said St. Patrick's Day, I went,
Yes.
is there going to be a holiday theme going through?
I'm going to do a holiday theme for all holidays, even when that I don't celebrate, I'm going to be reaching out to people to give me some type of insight and give me some inspiration for each book, because I do want everyone to feel celebrated, and I do want every holiday to be noticed, and my buddy Duke the Elf will be in every appearance of a book that I make.
I love it. See, that's cool. You can be like hiding behind things
Yep.
too. Okay, so I know that because I've had the an opportunity to talk to some other children's authors and things like that, especially with this coming up, and very cool. So are you looking to places to do readings in front of kids?
Yes. So I'm really interested in going to schools, because this book can come with an arts and crafts standpoint of it too. Like I have the cut out inserts right here, so they can color it, cut them out, and then put them in there. And then this is the scavenger hunt level to things, so now you can hide around your reading space, go find it, and then put it back into the book. For like the older kiddos, or even like for my sake, my son was 3, and we loved hiding these around the house with my gold coin idea. So
that's awesome.
Libraries would be really fun to do. I have a lot of reading scheduled for the second week of December, going to schools, apartment complexes, to do readings for the kiddos. And a lot of Santa visits. I'm bringing the story first, and then Santa comes.
Very cool.
So,
all right, so it's not too late. So if people are listening to this, so what's the best way to get in touch with you if they would like to have it at a reading?
They can do Holiday Books by Danny at gmail.com.
Holiday Books by Danny, D-A-N-I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, at gmail.com, or they can reach out to the Getting Ready for Santa Facebook page.
Okay, cool. Because it sounds like it's going to be very popular, and what parents don't want to take their kids, especially if there's a meaning behind it or something to be learned behind it as well. We were talking a little bit before we hit recording that unfortunately we live in the day and age that a lot of places, because it's Christmas, it's like we can't get into certain places, which I think we need to abolish that rule. Whoever made that rule, I'm coming after you. But it is something cool for community things. Maybe if you can't get to schools, but other groups and libraries, or I'm sure there's moms groups that get together too, right?
Yeah, there are mom groups. The Hangout had reached out to me, but I'm looking for more Grays Lake mom groups that would. I've had so much support. A support group from Mom's Group, which I'm so thankful for. She's the one that put me in touch with this illustrator.
Really?
So this Grays Lake Moms Group has helped me so much in ways that I can never repay them.
That's awesome.
Yes.
More than just hearing a loud boom down the road. Or there's doors closing outside of my house.
Oh
wow.
My
Yes. I'm sorry. Anybody that writes that stuff. No, it's funny. But no, that's good. And what a cool world that we live in, that you can have connections like that, right?
And now I'm just looking for more.
That's awesome. Okay, so you said a couple of things because I want to know a little bit more about your background, because sports broadcasting? So you went to school for broadcasting?
Yeah.
Where at?
DePaul University.
Okay, so what was your dream? Wasn't to write children's book at that point, right?
You know what's funny? So I did have a dream to write a book, but it was going to be about my life.
Okay.
But now I'm like detoured. The kids have changed me. But my dream is to be a sports reporter, a sideline reporter for basketball and football. I got a taste of that.
Okay.
And I know I loved it. Maybe one day I can get back, maybe behind scenes. But right now this is my new chapter.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to highlight of sports reporting so far.
Yeah.
Celebrities met, anything like that?
Oh, Stephen A. Smith was a huge person. Dwight Howard, D. Wade.
Okay, I'm totally jealous, by the way.
That was awesome. Jimmy Butler, he's my favorite.
He is mine, too.
Really?
Actually, it's still my password to get into half my things, but don't. Yes, I can't do that. It's definitely not. Yes, and the only person I think I have a sports jersey of in the last, 25 years.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Jimmy. Buckets.
And I got Derrick Rose, too. He was one of my favorites.
Wow. Okay, so what channel were you working for? Or were you working for?
So I did it for Ball Out Sports,
Okay.
and then I interned with Comcast Sports.
Beautiful.
That's where I got all the connections and learned so much from them. And then out there somebody found me.
Right.
And I got to work for them. They're a really cool company to work for.
Wow. Okay, so that's cool. I like the similarities between very highly competitive things, right? Highly competitive jobs of doing sports broadcasting, which I would absolutely love to do, right? That's very hard to get in. And also writing children's books. There's millions of them, right?
Right.
So you have a little taste of what it takes to succeed, right?
And that's why I'm here with you, because right when I got my book, I wanted to reach out to the best people around that I'm hey, how can you help me be, I know I've put in the work and I'm willing to do it.
Right.
It's noon on a Monday. I homeschool my kids. I found a way to have someone watch them so I could be here with you. Awesome. Very competitive, and I'm hey, believe in me. So because my book is awesome to me, so I just want other people to see it first and help me spread the word.
That's awesome. And it's a big process from you doing that to, obviously the first thing was to help your child, right, to succeed and bridge that gap of learning and communication. But now sharing your message with other people, it has to be inspiring to moms or dads that maybe are going through the same thing. Right?
Yep. And that's another thing too. It's really fun to have a different avenue to my book, because you can just read my book too if you don't have any speech delay or anything, or no problems. Enjoy my book for what it is, and then if you do, now you can feel a comfort that somebody else is going through with what we are, and we came on top of it. Right now he's still in therapy. He's 5 years old, but he is. Now we don't have to have a lingo or dance to have applesauce. He can tell me he wants applesauce.
Even though it sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, it definitely was fun, and only I knew it. So I was like, what does he want?
It's a secret applesauce dance.
Yeah.
Right.
So, there's like different avenues to the book, which I think is fun, because for me, there's different avenues of me. So.
Right. That's very cool. All right, so how many children do you have?
3.
Okay, so the 5 years old and
3.
Okay.
And 1.
Holy smokes. Okay, so the oldest one. So you got I was just speaking with somebody. It was funny that, being a first-time parent and going through things, we really don't know what the hell we're doing, right? And we only have our ways to do it through our parents who didn't know what the hell they were doing, who went just all the way down the line. So having your first child and having challenges like that and being able to overcome those and find your own way is a really kickstart to parenting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially when it's things that may be harder to have support in, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people didn't know about it. They were telling me, oh, no, he'll be fine, and not pushing therapy. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thankful I went to therapy, because I learned so much in 5 minutes that I didn't know was happening. And I don't know why there's a big gap in that of getting help. I don't know that. I don't understand it. But for me, I was all about getting what I needed for my kid.
Absolutely.
Like right away.
I'm sure that you probably have advice for parents that maybe think their child is delayed. Like, what steps did you take, or do you have to just keep pushing for help? What advice do you have? So
my advice is, if you think it, do something about it. I don't think you need to ask your peers for, and don't compare either. I know that's hard first. Everyone learns at their own rate, but you just get it as a parent that something might be off.
Hey neighbors, this is Bill Mock with the Grays Lake Chamber of Commerce. And if you're looking for a network of hard-working, customer-focused, and generally friendly local businesses who are dedicated to helping each other succeed, then I'd like to invite you to check out and consider joining our Grays Lake Chamber. We offer our members so many ways to advance their businesses through social networking events, special event sponsorships, informative lunch and learns, and the ever-popular after-hours mixers. Come see why we say we're the new wave of business here in Lake County.
Your kid might not be talking right at 12 months or 15 months, like when your pediatrician asks how many words can they speak. But you kind of just, being around other kids, you just know a level that they should be at. And if you're uncomfortable, go seek help. Reach out to early intervention. That's who really helped me. It was hard at first to get in. I had to go through some loops and find out people I know to get in. But then once they heard, and we did tests about he wasn't doing these right. He was on and off the spectrum as well, because he wasn't stepping on the steps right. He was twitching a lot. His tongue wasn't moving like he should. So things like that, I was like, okay, that's not the average kid. I need to reach out more. And I think that they need to just go. Sometimes, like, maybe not husbands, but the dad or something, they might be prideful at first, like, no, not my kid, or grandparents, like, no, not my grandchild. You as the mom or the caretaker, just have a better judgment. Just seek out, just get help first. And if you don't believe in it, then stop. But do whatever you can for that child, and then don't stop if you get a no first. I would say get other options, get other second opinions, because once you're in, they take care of you so nicely that, well, let's say if you keep pushing for it, they'll take care of you nicely.
Sure.
And if you still need the help, there's many opportunities out there that could help you. You don't have to go through the district that you have. You could always go around to a private therapy too. So there's more options than I had. I had no idea. I thought you just got the class, whatever you came from is what you get, but you could have options. You can go to private therapy, whatever makes you comfortable you can do.
Right. So advocating for your child, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Sum that one up.
Just go and make sure. No, but it's serious. You have to push it, because unfortunately, in the world we live in, there's so many kids that need help. There's only so many people to help them, right?
Exactly.
And it's probably easier to brush things off, but if you keep pushing them, it help you get in somewhere.
Exactly.
Right. No, and like we talked too with the first child, like you don't know what's normal, right? And us as parents, we sometimes don't know. So to get a professional's advice, you said something else too that struck one with me too, that especially, and we said not just dads, but dads and moms, that I think people are sometimes afraid of the stigma put on their child if you say they need early intervention. But when it could be the best tool to save their whole,
and we faced that as a family. My parents, well, my dad, his parents, and himself was just like, I don't think we need it yet. I'm like, we do. And if he is anything, we need to know as parents and how to love him in that way and support him in that way to make sure we're not failing him. I think that's the biggest thing as parents. We don't want to fail. So we try everything to just succeed. And I think if we didn't seek help, we were failing our child. Right. So he trusted me, he believed in me, and now look at us. We went into therapy for 4 years now, and my kid can speak.
No, it's fantastic. So
it's amazing.
I love it.
I get teary-eyed right now.
No, it's great.
Looking back on videos when he couldn't talk was hard. So
I can't even imagine
seeing this now, and it's crazy. Like,
well, and something that you have, the gift that you were given by leading him in the right direction, and the help that you received. Now you're passing that along to give people hope. And I think
so important to me.
What you said too is that you're not alone in this, right? Because I'm sure that you can feel completely alone in it.
Yeah, when people are posting things on, look at my child, they can do animal sounds all the way through the barn. It's like, oh, that's nice. Oh, look at them, they're saying their first words. Like, oh, wow, when is that going to happen for me? So, yeah, you definitely feel that because it's all around you. Everyone's speaking at the right age and all that. So I'm going to create that group for moms to be like, hey, my kid's not there yet. What do I need to do?
Right.
And then we can relate to one another.
Right. And especially on a social media platform where everybody brags about the highlights and the achievements, I, a couple of years ago, made a joke that my son was on a summer baseball team and they won 2 games, and I put a post out that they got slaughtered, 30 times, and how fun it was just to see how people would react to it, because how many championship things, or the kid that's excelling, or how well they do. So
that's smart. You did that.
Yeah, it didn't work the way I would. I think people didn't understand that I was giving them the finger at the same time, but then again, I do stuff like that, but we all do. People celebrate the good moments, but being vulnerable enough to put something out there, and you giving people a safe place where they can reach out and say, hey, okay, this is cool. I need help too. It's a good thing.
Thank you.
And maybe the best Christmas gift to give people is to let them know that they're not alone. Okay, so right now, to get the book, we can get it in Grace Lake. We can get it through, we can just get you on Facebook or send you an email. Also, soon to come, Amazon.
Yes.
So when are you going to start working on the next book?
Ooh. January.
Oh, really? Yeah. Listen, like you didn't know. You already know exactly.
January.
What's the first holiday you're going to take?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Okay. Because my St. Patrick's Day is already there created. I need to brainstorm about how I want my character to be and how we're going to do very similar things. All my books, I want to have the same concept of repetition, flat books to give them that confidence builder. So I just really want to brainstorm. I think I'm going to do it as somebody, not sure what, maybe a girl bat maybe, and you have to come through their house and help get everything ready. Spooky, super spooky for the trick-or-treaters to come.
Love it.
I should patent that first before
before we put this out anywhere.
Please don't take my idea.
That's a great idea. How was the process of getting what you wanted to do, putting this book together, coming up with concept, to self-publishing, putting all this together is a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah, with 3 kiddos running around.
Right.
No sleep.
Right.
And it was crazy because I first trusted somebody to do my illustrations. I paid a lot of money, and he did not. He said I get 3 revisions with it. The first one, he didn't listen. Second one, he didn't listen. Third one, he didn't listen. So there you go. I used all 3. He took my money and gave me a hang loose on his text message back to me that he moved. Took my money and just ran.
Really?
So that was heartbreaking, and I thought I was going to be done. But then I just kept believing, and it was just like that gut feeling. I just keep going, keep pushing. And I reached out to Grace Lake Moms Group, and this wonderful lady reached me out to Allie, and she's like, look, I know her. She's part of the family. Reach out to her. And so many people gave me so many amazing options. Yeah. It just something clicked with me with her, and I did it. trusted her. I told her my whole story. She's like, okay, let's fix it. So we just collaborated together, and then from that, she gave me ideas that she had, because she also wrote another book with another lady, gave me the more advice, and it just felt like a tribe. Like, everyone was just giving me ideas to, like, boost me up on this mountain. And then I just did a lot of research. You have to do a lot of research to compare prices, to compare, like, if you're doing the right thing, if this printing company is legit. So a lot of that took a lot of time. And then you need money. If you don't have money, you can't do this. So it was a lot of work. I had to do a lot of stuff to pay for this and to have the time with the kiddos, too. So I feel like my days were no longer 16. They were like 20-hour days just to get all this stuff done. But now that it's here, I'm so proud of it. I do it again, which I will be for Halloween.
Yes, I just say then you can start the whole process of it. But now you can't complain because now you know how much work it is.
Exactly.
But it should shorten the times down now, right? Because you know what you're
now
doing.
I have somebody already. I have everything now.
Right.
And now I trust them all, and I can just send it off when I have it.
To do the things the first time is always hard.
Yes.
And then, so as far as printing, I know that it's funny that I said, well, when did you get these books in your hand?
Friday.
And today is Monday.
Today is Monday, so literally on Friday.
You've done a lot of work in like 3 days for marketing yourself, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
After you wait that long. But you wanted to make sure not to like pre-sell them in case.
I didn't get them.
Right.
Because I was scared with what happened with the illustrator. I didn't want it to happen with my books. Right. And I didn't want to put a bad name on me if I had to cancel someone last minute. I'm all about your name is your brand, so I didn't want to mess with that.
Right. And, of course, because it's a Christmas book,
and
we're sitting in November. Yeah, if you would have got it in January, probably wouldn't have had the same.
Right.
Could have disappointed people, right? Well, that's fantastic. I really like what you're doing, and hopefully anybody that's listening, if you guys have a place where children gather or wherever that you can do these readings at,
that'd be awesome.
Anybody to open some doors, because we're all here to help, and that's why podcast works great. Community stuff, I love it to see people come through, like all the things without a medium like that to go on.
Thank you.
It's very cool. So let's do this. Let's repeat again where the Facebook page is, the email address, and where they can contact you. And I think that'd be a good thing. So that way, get a pen out wherever you're right. Get it ready and write it down, or jump on there and look it up right now. So the Facebook site is
Getting Ready for Santa.
All right, and the email address they can get you.
holidaybooksbydanny@gmail.com.
Okay. Do you have a TikTok?
I'm getting one.
Okay, I was going to say I could see you like reading little things out of there, but all the lessons you have could be hugely successful for you. I think.
So what I'm working on, I had a workout TikTok, so now I'm trying to get another channel for my book.
Yeah.
So I don't cross brand. So I have
you don't want to do both, right? You have to have a channel for each niche,
so
right?
I'm working on that for my buddy at Dude the Elf.
That's awesome. So before we end, are you ever going to go back to broadcasting?
I would love to. It's like deep down, but everyone says you'll have your turn after the kids. Okay. So I'm just trying to enjoy the kid moment now, but if anybody needs a broadcasting job, no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kidding. No
but
way.
No, the broadcasting thing is like, it's not like you can do a part-time thing.
You have to be all in, and I'm not ready to say bye to my kiddos.
Amen. No, that's great. Well, Danny, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much for
I really
having me.
appreciate it. And folks, wherever you're at, make sure to jump on that Facebook page, send an email. How much is the book, by the way?
$14.
$14. All right. Pick it up, and you can get it at a little bit of me in Grace Lake, or just go straight through the Facebook or send an email. But it's Getting Ready for Santa. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Grace Lake, no matter where you're listening, I appreciate you guys listening. So whether you're on Apple, whether you're on Spotify, wherever you might be, hit even YouTube. Yeah, for some reason YouTube is doing very good these days. Hit subscribe, because that way every Tuesday, you'll be alerted of a new guest that comes on the show. And as we always finish, we never know what our friends or family, anybody is going through. So get out there and do two random acts of kindness today. So open a door, smile at somebody, text an old friend, just say hello to people. Kindness spreads like wildfire. So Grace Lake, thank you so much for listening. Danny, thank you again. And Grace Lake, we'll see you next Tuesday.